Hey beauties, morning to you. I want to dedicate this video to men and ask. They always say to ask why, what, where, when, and how. These are questions that many times we actually take negatively. We think it is disrespectful when those are the questions to actually ask. And that is how we get a true response, generally speaking, hopefully. Why is it that you men feel that it is okay to have a multiplicity of women, to trick women, to dupe women, to use women? Why? I'm just trying to figure it out, because we see the effects of slavery in so many different ways, psychologically, mentally, socially, and financially, and sexually. You saw how, based on Backmaster, that it separated families. It caused men to go over there. So you were separated from your wife, from your spouse, from your children, placed elsewhere to almost create a new family. And that curse has carried on to this very day, where now you have taken it on as a part of your everyday walk, your culture, your subculture. And it always, barring none, ends up badly. Some of you commit bigamy where you marry more than one woman, knowing that it's against the law in the Western world. Because you cannot be satisfied. It's like a beast out there, like an animal out there. Yes, we're the higher form of animals. But it is something that I can't seem to fathom in my mind. When many of you see the repercussions and you tell yourself, boy, I am not going to get caught. Or if I saw, if I dirt. And that is how you live your life, not knowing that dirt will affect your children and your children's children and your children's children. Sometimes your parents, your siblings, your aunties, your uncles, your cousins, your friends, those associated with you closely. I just cannot understand why. I can't even understand why is it you have some men who will, for example, you're dating somebody. I've heard of stories like that. I never believed it was true until somebody said they know personally. People are close to me. You'll be dating somebody outright, and then you look them in the eye sometimes and say, I'm getting married next week. Or you leave. One lady, I heard she lost her mind. Somebody, the man made her iron his outfit, thinking he was going to a funeral or something. And somebody came to her and said, I saw, like his name is Mark, marrying another woman, and she had to go and look. Lost her mind. I know a particular person where husband and elderly, now when I say elderly, really wouldn't, like maybe she was in her 50s or something like that. Husband, church man too, left her to go and get married. I don't know if I'm not sure if he's dead, but I heard he had a terrible stroke. Used to beat her too. And I just don't understand if you guys don't. Maybe you need to read the book of 1 Peter chapter 3. Go and read it. Where it says, although it was saying husbands, it's really referring to a lot of men. Don't treat your women harshly. Don't even treat them bad. Don't treat them bad psychologically. Don't treat them bad sexually. Don't treat them bad verbally. Don't treat them bad emotionally. Do not. Because your prayers will be hindered. You're calling down curses on your lives. Your penis can't be satisfied in one vagina. The one that you've committed yourself to. That you said you're going to be loyal and devoted to. Commitment takes work. You have to talk to yourself. Nobody says that temptation will not come, but God will not tempt you beyond what you can bear. He will not. No matter how burning it feels. Because, for example, if your boss disrespects you and it burns you to want to retaliate, you're going to hold it because you know the prize at the end. You want to get your salary. You don't want to be fired. But you can't employ that same self-control to your wives, to your girlfriends, to your fiancés. And you go out and you have these multiplicity of women, having multiplicity of children, running the risk of STIs, running the risk of one of those children getting involved with each other, not knowing that they're brother and sister, and running the risk of some sort of complication and their defect. I don't want to call children defective, meaning, mentally challenged, with what some people call handicapped. even autistic, because the blood is too close. The blood is too close. They didn't know that they were related. One day they said in a particular parish, I think I was in St. Anne, she said she doesn't care how the man looks. Could have looked like Denzel in his heyday. She's not going to get married to any man down this side because they must be related. She knew her situation. She said, she's not taking one chance there. I just cannot understand how you men see the detriment and the diabolical, what should I say, outcome. The deathly outcome. Similar to what has happened in the case of Philip Paulwell. Because you can't keep that thing in your pants or direct it to one person, stick to one person. Some of you lie to the woman repeatedly. Lie. And I'm not saying that you don't have the Jezebels. That's another. I will deal with that. Don't get me wrong. Jezebels, I'm talking in terms of female. Because you have the male ones. Because you decide that you will not be committed. It's a choice you have made. You decide that you will not be committed. You decide that you will not be loyal. You decide that you will not be devoted to that one woman. Because you must have the gal them in a bungle. To the detriment of people's lives. To the detriment of their hearts. Many women are broken today because a man told them, I love you, knowing that he did not love them. It was a trick. It was a lie. And I just can't understand why. It's almost like I want to say, what have women done to you? Even if they have hurt you back in the day, you decide that you're going to retaliate. And one thing, I'm not saying that you don't have women who they struggle to forgive, but it usually has to be something great, But you see, when men have something in their heart, my God, if God does not come down and perform surgery, it doesn't matter if 20 years pass, you hold on to that hurt for dear life. I don't know if because you internalize it stays. I don't know. I have never seen anything like this. And part and parcel, that is why the lifespan of men generally cuts short. The longevity is not there. Your hearts are filled with poison. Can't forgive, can't let go. Run into another relationship, can't even be, you're not emotionally available to your wife, to your own spouse, to your girlfriends. Because a woman 40 years ago hurt you. That time 20 other men hurt the different women. And you don't look at it that way. You don't look at that. Whatever seed you sow, you must reap. If you don't, and also not only you reaping it, your children will reap it, your grandchildren will reap it, your great-grand, and continue. And you may feel it won't affect you, but it will. When you start see the vitriol coming at you, and people say, go, your children cursed. Go, your children, retribution is on your children. Go, you know, see your children amount to nothing. That is when it starts to poke your soul. Because if you look at the internet, people they don't care. Their tongues are like serpents, like vipers. They don't care. They will tell you the worst things ever. I heard a lady telling a young girl, a big woman telling a young girl some things that I said. I don't know how she did not have a heart attack after hearing those words. She committed verbal murder. Jesus said, you have heard that if you basically have sex physically with a woman, you have committed adultery. I'm going to tell you, from you even look at her in that way, you have committed it. So from you speak those words, you have committed the act of murder. Many have murdered women psychologically. Many of you men have murdered women sexually. Many of you men have murdered women emotionally. And you just happy-go-lucky, not knowing that there is a God that has this protection over women, because we are the weak of the two vessels physically. And one day vengeance will be enacted towards you. It's not a matter of wish, it's a matter of what seed you sow, you must reap. But you men ought to be ashamed of yourselves. You should go in repentance and ask God to make you be a valiant man. A man like David, who was a man after God. Yes, he made a mistake, but you see what he went through? I'm sure I'm telling himself, he would have never again slipped like that. One woman he made the mistake with and got rid of her husband. Because that's what sin does when you do that and you can't satisfy. Can't be satisfied. Shame on you, man. Shame. Guys, follow me on TikTok. Subscribe to my YouTube channel.